Okay, so this is part two of J or EvoQC's getting over anxiety slash not being afraid to take that risk of talking to people or strangers or that risk in general. If you guys have not seen the first part yet, I highly encourage that you watch it for context. But here we are with part two, and I hope you guys enjoy. We're picking up from where we left off in the last video, so I hope you guys enjoy. Thank you for tuning in.
And so I go up and I'm like right behind her, about to say something to her. Not like right behind her, but I am walking towards this woman. And I go and I think to myself,
menacingly.
I think I can't do it. I'm gonna go to the bathroom, or I'm gonna let me go to the break room.
What?
So I'm walking towards this person. I go, you know what? I'm gonna go to the break room. I can't do this.
Oh my god.
And then the security guard starts to talk to her, and I'm like,
perfect.
Okay, I can fit myself in this conversation somehow. So instead of going to the break room, I am standing in the middle of the checkout area, waiting for there to be a moment where I can step in and say something, you know?
Yeah.
And so he starts talking to her, and he asks her what she does. Or, no. He's talking about how much stuff she has. She had like a bunch of stuff, and she's like, well, I'm a teacher, so I'm like also getting stuff for my students too.
Okay.
And I hear her say that she's a teacher, and I'm like, there is no way that there is this person that looks exactly like my teacher, is wearing something that she would wear, buying stuff that she would buy with ADHD that I diagnosed for her.
Yeah.
It kind of sounds similar, you know? I'm not 100% it was just like, I only caught like a brief moment of her conversation, but it's like, oh, that could be her voice.
Okay.
So I'm like, there's no way, let me just say something. And I say, oh, you're a teacher? And she's like, yes. And I don't know why I say what I'm about to say. But I say, are you Miss Jefferson? I say her name.
Yeah.
And there is no reason I should have said that, and I don't know why I didn't say, oh, do you teach at this school? I should have eased into it.
You Miss Jefferson. Go ahead.
I go, oh, are you Miss Jefferson? And she goes, no. Do I? She says no. Do I look like her?
Oh.
And I go, yeah, I'm sorry, and I walk away.
What?
I don't follow a conversation with this woman. There is no follow-up. I go, yes. Oh, yeah, you look. I say, yes, I'm sorry, and then I walk away.
You said I'm sorry twice.
I said I'm sorry probably 3 times. Like, as I'm walking away.
I'm sorry.
I said I'm sorry. And then, like, walking away, it gets, like, quieter. I go, I'm sorry. And I just go back to my job. And this guy is still having a I jumped into this woman's conversation with the security guard. I'm like, oh, you're a teacher? And then to say her name, she says no, and then I just leave while they're having a conversation.
While murmuring, I'm sorry.
I'm murmuring, I'm sorry. Yeah. It's the most embarrassing thing. This is the one time that I go up and say something to. I've had so many opportunities to say something to people that I know, and that I'm 100% sure that I know these people.
I'm gonna just be real, because this has been on my mind like the entire time. I just feel like I need to say this. Was she bad? Well, you know.
No, she's like, she just looks like a regular person. She's not ugly by any means, but she's just like she's a yoga instructor that's like just like eats healthy, and she's just like a regular person.
Got it. 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. Okay, I hear it.
I don't know if I'd be as nervous talking to a pretty woman. I don't know if I'd be as nervous like talking to somebody that I know I don't know.
Do I look like her? That sounds like she took that as insult.
No, she said it in such like a kind way of like I should oh, she like wants to talk about it. You know?
And you turned around and said
I turned around and I said I'm sorry and walked away. And it was so embarrassing. I texted my mom and not afterwards. I said, I did all of that walking around. This was like over like a 30-minute period. And it wasn't her. And it just took everything out of me to say something to this person that it shouldn't have. It should have just been hey, did you teach at this place? Or do you teach at this place? And then I just move on with my life. My life wasn't changed by this. But it's still like, or it shouldn't, like, this should have no effect on me. I should just say, oh, hey, are you from this place? Or do you work at this place? And then I just move on, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And it didn't. And there's like, I don't know, I don't know if I feel like I could do that now, though. I feel like having that experience of actually going up to somebody and it not being them, like I feel like I should be more comfortable with it next time.
Yeah,
but now I'm afraid that that'll happen again.
Well, so what's the moral? Like, what was the title for this again? What'd you say the title was? Don't be afraid.
Don't be afraid to take risks.
Don't be afraid to take risk, and yeah, here you are saying that you're still afraid because you don't want the same thing now. So,
no, but the thing is though, after I said I'm sorry, you know, and I walked away, I thought to myself, oh, I can just go about my life now. This like massive weight that was on me for the past 30 minutes of me like trying to figure out if this is my teacher, it's over, and I can move on. And I haven't really thought about it other than in the context of me telling this on story time.
Okay.
You know? And yet there's all these moments where I could have said something to somebody that I do know and would recognize me. And I don't say anything. And that's sat with me for the past, you know, all these years. Where like I see somebody and I go, oh, I know that person. Let me walk to the other side of the store because I don't know what to say, or I don't want to have a conversation, even though I do want to have a conversation, you know?
Yeah.
It's like, oh, I would love to catch up with that person, but I'm too afraid, so let me go to the other store and hide from them pretty much. I've hid from people that I know.
Oh my.
Because I'm too afraid to say something.
I can't do this. I can't.
That's what happens every time. And here I am, and I finally say something to somebody that I don't know is actually the person that I think it is, and I move on in my life, and I don't think about it anymore. You know.
Okay.
So I think the moral is, don't be afraid to go talk to somebody. You know. I feel like you feel that regret, or if you don't say something to somebody, that person that you're thinking about talking to, that will sit with you. It will, and it sucks. And even if it doesn't have an effect on your life of like, oh, I really wish I would have talked to that person. Even if it doesn't have that like guttural feeling to you, it'll still pop up in your head. So just go talk to them.
Okay.
And there's nothing like, you told that story about you and that person that we went to middle school with. I'm sure in your head it's like, oh, that happened. I can move on though, you know?
Wait, which story?
Of you with you going up to that, talking to that person we went to middle school with, and her not recognizing you.
Oh yeah.
It's like, oh, that sucks. That's embarrassing. But
This
you
person
know,
who I've literally had a crush on, and you know, I see her and she just doesn't recognize me, which I feel like was a worst case scenario.
That's the worst case scenario.
You saw a teacher, and you're like, oh shit, I can't talk to this teacher. But me, I'm like, oh man, let's see if this person remembers me. This person that I do, that I at a time fondly thought of remembers me, and they don't. And then and worst thing, that happened in front of a friend. This happened this happened in front of your coworkers, but I'm not, you know, But
you
right.
said something. You know?
I said something, and I didn't. And I didn't have that regret of like, oh my gosh, I'll never know if that was such and such. Yeah.
And it's weird to apply it to this situation, but I think the same like logic applies to asking somebody if they like you or not.
Oh,
you know,
yeah.
if you never ask that person, hey, do you want to like go out on a date? That will sit with you for the rest of your life.
Quiet. We're getting into bad territory. There's too much. There are too many regrets.
Listen. This could be for another story time, because I got stories about that too. But it's like
we can definitely do another one.
We can do another one. That's more personal. This one's just, this will ease the audience into it.
Yeah.
But
for sure.
or to the concept of you having guests on.
Yeah.
But I think that, go talk to that person, because if you don't, you think about it. But if you do say something, you go, oh, that sucks, and maybe you're embarrassed, or you think about it every once in a while. But it's not going to sit as hard with you as it would if you just have that mystery of what could happen, what could have happened,
Oh man, you're speaking to me, right? But yeah, you're right. There are a lot of people. Oh my gosh, and that was kind of like the bane. Well, I won't say the complete bane, because there was one person. And since we're, I guess, talking about school people, there was one person at high school that I did confess my feelings for.
Mm-hmm.
But it was kind of rushed. But the other person who I like, my other, I guess, high school crush that I kind of had like a crush on for like 2.5 years before I ultimately got. Well, I ain't gonna say it. Like, somebody just got to it before I did. Before I could like tell that person how I felt about them, because I was always so scared to take that shot. But yeah, it still kind of eats away at me. So yeah, you're absolutely right, man.
Yeah,
you're absolutely right.
That mystery of, I feel like the mystery is so much worse than
just getting
having a bad closure.
Oh yeah, for sure. Because at the end of the day, closure is closure. Closure is closure, and it's like, okay, cool, absolutely. I can move on. But that just goes to like my thing with my other story that I talked about with the girl that I never got closure. Like, I went and I saw her, and I just never saw her again.
Terrible.
I just never saw her again. And that could have all been avoided. One, if I would have just been like, hey, what's your number? Do you have socials? And two, if I would have one time after the little church meeting, I would have just been like, hey, so I kind of want to see you outside of this place. Like, I like you. Like, I'm glad that you brought me here, and I would just like to know if we could maybe hang out outside of this place. But I was not where I am mentally now. So
yeah. From these experiences you learn, and you grow as a person.
Yeah.
And you saved me from not having closure with a particular person.
That
really? Changed my life.
Let's go.
We can save that for another. We can save that for the next story time.
Wait, that's a whole separate thing.
We'll leave that. We'll leave that as a teaser for the next story for the next story time.
Hey,
but
y'all heard it.
you saved me. You saved my life pretty much, man.
Oh man.
Because I almost never had that closure, and
I'm glad I had to walk so others could run. I'm glad I had to walk so others could run.
Yep.
Jeez,
yep. And now there's the story's in an album. that part of my life is in a skit that's in an album. So,
are you serious?
I swear. That the Withered album. You recorded the skit for me. That was just my life.
Wow. Okay. All right. Okay.
We'll leave that as a teaser for the next episode.
Yeah, okay, all right. Okay, crazy lore drop. But hopefully, I guess we're at 36 minutes, so I'm gonna have to have 36.
I was afraid it was gonna be like a 4-minute me telling a story and then.
Nah, man, nah. That's why I said. That's why it's so easy for me to do like this type of stuff, because I can literally just get on here and yap and just talk about whatever. Yeah. And then you just gotta put some gameplay and some music over it, behind it. Do you want music behind this, or do you kind of just want?
Yeah, it's got to be music, man.
All right, but yeah, honestly, the hard part is making them like short enough. That's why I had to split the last one, or like my first story time, into like 2 parts.
Yeah. I didn't want it to like drag on to like an hour, and then it's like it's a podcast and not a YouTube video.
Exactly.
Like 36 isn't terrible. And if you do want to cut it into 2, you could cut it off and then say something over it and be like, hey, I'm gonna leave you here, we'll come back in the next episode, you know?
Yeah, I might do that. I might cut it off like while we're laughing and then cut that game there. That way make it short. But
yeah, that would be good.
Yeah, I'll go ahead and do that now after I finish my other stuff that I gotta do. But yeah, so hopefully you guys enjoyed the first, I guess, co-commentary story time. I did. It's pretty cool to have someone else on here and just like hear, what they got going on in their life as well. And mind you guys don't know this, but this is the same person who like laughed in my face.
Okay,
when I
that's
came
not
to him about. Oh, what's up, Phoebe? I don't even know if she's still in here. It's the same dude that laughed in my face when I came to him about my Larry Troubles Buckhorns. He's not innocent.
It wasn't about your lady troubles. It was a story from like elementary school.
School
that you should have gotten over by now.
Elementary school. Okay. Was it?
It was a story from like a long time ago. You were like, oh, when I was a kid, this had happened to me.
Yeah, you just laughed at me.
I didn't laugh at you. I will stand on the fact that I laughed at an inopportune time, but it wasn't at you, or it wasn't at your story. I was just thrown off because me and Jason were having like a laugh, and he broke into that.
Right. Well, hopefully you guys did enjoy it. Guess we're gonna go ahead and just try to break this into 2 parts, and I guess look forward to the next EvoQC story time. Hopefully we'll have more people
next year.
Next year. I was thinking like next week or the week after.
Yeah.
Hopefully we can have some more people on board, sharing some of their like life stories and stuff. And just
I nominate 50 Cent.
I nominate. Dang, who would I nominate here? I think I would nominate. I would either nominate. I would low-key nominate any of my friends. I feel like they would all have something crazy to say. Maybe Lloyd.
Armani's definitely got some stories.
He definitely does.
That guy's been through some shit.
He definitely has. Name drop again, but it's whatever. All right.
Yeah, but he's like in the group.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, I mean, there's probably like a million Armani's out there, so they don't really know which one it is.
He can know who that is.
I would recommend it. But all right.
Lawyer would be good too.
Lawyer would be good.
I'm sure lawyers. Yeah, I'd want to hear a lawyer story.
I would love to hear something from lawyer's perspective. I would love to.
Uh-huh.
I'll see if he comes. I'll see if he'll come. I'd love to hear something from lawyer's perspective. But all right, guys, I'm gonna go ahead and end this here. See you guys soon. Hopefully, y'all take it easy.
Bye, Heem's channel. It was fun.